I am not a mother yet. I hope one day I will be. Even though there are many things I hope I will be able to be or do, there is one thing that is number one for me, and I want to share that with you in this episode. Whether you are a mother, want to be a mother, or want to put yourself in your mother's shoes maybe, I hope you'll enjoy this episode. You are so welcome under the baobab tree. My name is Amma, and in this podcast, we explore everything about personal and spiritual growth. See it as a moment where you and I are literally sitting under a baobab tree with a cup of tea, whether you're driving or on your way somewhere or in the gym, doing the dishes, or consciously sitting somewhere to listen to this. We are here together. You're so welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here. And you can find more about me and how I work or how you can work with me at my website, amaboache.com. I will put the link in the show notes. Yeah. And so, this episode, when I am mother. As a mother, 9 or 10 months, you carry your baby inside of you. It's part of you, part of your body. And then you give birth. The first time letting go. I can only imagine how crazy and deeply altering giving birth and therefore being a mother must be. Your baby grows up, becomes a child with its own will, and you try your best to guide it in the way you know how to. When your child is young, you still have a say. You're raising your child in your home, and if the child likes it or not, in a way, it still needs to listen or follow how things go in your household, right? And then your child becomes older, and so much changes. Becomes a teenager. And the teenager feels like an adult and wants to be treated as one, but you can only still see a child. Your child that is now a teenager has its own will, interests, passions, beliefs. You try to protect your child from making the wrong choices, but it seems your child wants or needs to experience certain things for themselves. And then your beautiful baby that became a child and then a teenager becomes an adult. And you know this adult so well. You're its mother. You may have dreamt about how your child would grow up, what kind of adult it would become, and what it would do in its life. And then as a teenager, as an adult, your child makes different choices than the ones you had hoped for. Even choices you don't understand, or that make you worried or angry, or that make you feel less loved or valued. But your child is its own person. And this is what I want to be able to remember when I am a mother. That my child is its own person with its own soul, purpose, and things to do here on earth, and trust the path of my child too. Simultaneously, I think that's one of the most difficult things to do. Because as a parent, of course, you have more life experience, at least in this life, and you know your child so well. You had expectations, but also you raised your child. Your child is your family, so of course you're attached to your child and the choices that are being made by your child. In Europe, I've heard so many situations where immigrant parents or parents who grew up in another country, then came to Belgium, want their child to study for a doctor or to be a lawyer, while the child was interested in art or being a social worker. The pressure on those children was enormous. And I understand why these parents found it so important, because they come from their own experiences and want the best for their child. But is this the best for their child? I've also heard one time that a son came home with his girlfriend and the parents didn't approve at all. And the mother tried to manipulate her son in that the girl wasn't good for him. But how did the mom really know? And what if there were lessons to be learned in this relationship? What I've also heard before is children who choose another religion or a spiritual path than their parents, or no spiritual path at all, and the conflicts, exclusion, and the pain that causes, all because parents can't accept their children's path. I know for my mom, it also wasn't easy that I chose to leave Belgium and settle abroad. And for her own mom, my grandma, it was also difficult that my mom chose to be with an African man, my dad. Sometimes I feel it's almost part of being a parent, or maybe the pain of being a parent, that your child chooses another path than the one that makes you comfortable or happy or at peace. Sometimes it's a whole path. Sometimes it's just some elements on the path. Sometimes I wonder if that's part of the purpose of children, to let their parents grow, to show them all the uncomfortable parts within themselves. Eventually, every child that arrives here on earth has a purpose. Every human being is here for a reason. And I hope I can see that when I'm a mother, even though my child may make choices that are difficult for me to live with. I hope then that I can sit with myself and deal with what's going on for me. Give space to my emotions, grief, that I can express my anger so that I don't block my child's purpose. And that I can even maybe be a loving support, putting my own things aside. When it's that time, I may need to listen to this episode again. But yes, when I am a mother, I hope I can remember that even though I am my child's mother, my child is its own person, and my child doesn't belong to me. There is nothing better than Khalil Gibran's poem on children. I don't know if you know it. It comes out of the book The Prophet, and I will read it for you here now to end this episode. Here we go. And the woman held a babe against her bosom and said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. I love this poem so much. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you love this episode and you want to share it with a friend or a mother or anyone who you think would enjoy it, please do. Please share it with someone today or share it on your social media. That would be amazing. And also, if you have the time or energy to give some beautiful stars on Spotify or to leave a review, this really helps for more people to find this podcast, and that would make me so happy. So thank you for the help in that way. And if you're interested in an aura reading, in intuitive coaching, or in guidance to make your dream or idea a reality, then check the show notes for my website, amabuachi.com. And you'll even find a free inspiration guide if you want to start working on your dream or idea or project right now. Thank you so much for listening. I'm super grateful that you're here. And until the next, bye-bye.